So looking at my Ducky 1.2 Mini, Ducky 1.2 Mini, I wanted to upgrade it to something similar, yet something I can customize as my own. Have somewhat like a more premium version of it. Basically, I wanted a 60% that was either white or chrome color that kind of matched my sort of future white and gold setup. But to make it look even better, I was inspired by Wildcat's keyboard. Link to his YouTube channel down below. Go check him out. His keyboard came with some LED side glow, and then some of his keyboards come with some underglow. And I was like, damn, that's sexy. And the closest thing to what I really wanted was his keyboard on KBD fans. It's called the Tina V2. However, it's an interest check, so I won't be seeing it for quite a while. And I'm pretty sure they took it down recently, so I don't even know it's still on there. I'm also pretty sure that it's delayed by COVID or something. Last time I checked it. Oh well. So, what's our next option then? Well, I couldn't really find anything that I liked. Many of the keyboards I found were just similar to the Ducky 1.2 Mini, or just didn't even have any side glow or underglow. So, I asked around on some discords, and then I found this obscure keyboard called the XD-60, or is it called the XD-64? Something like that. I don't even know the name. It has like 7 names. There's literally like a name. I don't even know, dude. Judging from the pictures on the listing, it looked pretty premium to me. It had the aluminum case, had the underglow, and had the chrome case color. I mean, all the boxes were checked for me. So I just went onto AliExpress and just bought it from KD fans. What was a little sketchy, what kind of set some red flags for me, was that there were many reviews and there wasn't a lot of info about this keyboard online. A lot of the reviews that I saw were kind of negative. And now, after testing it and using it for a bit, I can see why now. I can see why. I'll elaborate on this as the video goes on. It took about a month or two to revive to me due to COVID, and here's what it came with. So right out of the scuff bubble wrap packaging, we got some rubber feet, and an extra aluminum plate, an extra plastic case, accessories bag with some normal cherry reds, we got some cherry stabs, some extra screws, and what I think are some extra rubber feet. I don't know. And this one's super interesting. They also gave me some LEDs which you can thread through the switch and also solder onto the PCB. Never seen anyone do that before. Then we also got a pretty decent looking cable, which is USB-C to like sort of a normal USB. And it's made of paracord with also some tech flex on the outside. Finally, we move on to the good part. We got the XD-60 PCB. And the little cat on the back you see there? That's a lie. That's like the devil luring you in right there, thinking that this PCB is easy to use. Never trust that cat. We also got the aluminum case with the acrylic bottom for the LEDs to shine through. And I was confused here at first, but you notice that the plate here, it's actually mounted backwards. No, not backwards, but it's upside down. That long piece should be on the bottom, actually. Looks like someone was in a rush. Alright, so I didn't want to use those cherry red switches that came with the package, so I bought some Novelkey creams, like the scrub I am. I also ordered some tools that I didn't have to help me build this keyboard. So we got a keycap puller, a switch puller, a switch opener. I think this is a cherry switch opener, actually. I also bought some lube brushes and a stab remover. And like this thing can like pull out nose hairs, man. Then at the bottom of the box, there was a acrylic lube station to help hold the switches while I lube them. Quick jello break. For keycaps, I got some extra yellow and white Doggo accent keycaps, and some normal white pudding keycaps. It came in like some trash packaging. All the keycaps came loose during shipping. The white pudding keycaps also came with some keycap removers and also an extra cleaning brush. As for lube, well, I got a ton. Let me introduce you to my Lube Box. It's not sus, I swear. We got 205 GO, 206 GO, tri-box, 3204, and some extra stabs and things. I mean, fun times can be had with this box. Alright, first things first, we gotta get these creams lubed up. Golly, these words are sus. Who named these creams, dude? So these kale creams are linear, meaning it's a clean push all the way down and up. They also have a 55 gram actuation force and a 70 gram bottom force. They're also PCB mounted, meaning they have 5 pins with 2 of them going through the PCB used as stability. As I was lubing these switches, I didn't realize that lubing takes this long. There's literally 3 hours of footage of me just lubing. And the fact that I bought a crappy lube station and a switch opener did not help at all. Getting the bottom housing of the switch was such a struggle. I decided to grind down the sides of my switch opener because it kind of gripped too hard to the sides. Also, I didn't clarify here, but I'm using Krytox 205 Geo here. It's also the same lube I'm using for the screw-on stabs as well. Honestly, I'm a believer of lubing now. Pause. Not like that. I mean, like that. It's honestly makes such a big difference, and it's a great activity to do when you just, just want to vibe. During this entire time, I was either on a call with some friends or just vibing out with some music. So switching over from clicky switches to linear switches was kind of a big difference, kind of a big jump. And I was definitely not used to it at first, but after weeks of use, it wasn't that bad. I originally had a problem with the palm of my hands touching the function key, and it kind of activated the second layer I had. Kind of messed up a lot when I was typing. Here's a quick side-by-side comparison of the lube creams with the Krytox 205 Geo and just straight default creams. Well, all the prep work is basically done. I gotta start putting this together. Started by getting my electric screwdriver, just popped all 4 of the screws holding the acrylic bottom to the frame. Then removed the other 4 screws holding the plate. Then I struggled to place the switches before remembering to put in the stabs first. Also make sure to align the plate too. Finally, then you can start soldering, which is another probably like 1 hour pain. Keyboard building is kind of very meticulous, also kind of like very meditative, kind of. Just make sure you have some time to kill. So the orange thing at the top here, it's called a solder smoke absorber. Basically, it's just a fan that has a carbon filter that soaks in the fumes of the solder and the smell as well. Pretty sure like the fumes can like kill you or something if you inhale too much of it, and I don't plan on dying anytime soon. Also, this soldering kit was gifted to me by my ISS program team, which you'll be able to see a video on soon if you're kind of interested in that stuff. If you're just like interested in like me sending projects to space and stuff. So I need you to hit that sub button, I need you to hit that like button. I'm kidding. While you're down there, go to the description and follow my other personal YouTube channel as well. Oh, also check the description to links of all the stuff that I used in this video. Back to the soldering. Pro tip. While you're soldering, or after you're done, whatever you prefer, make sure to plug in your PCB and find like a keyboard tester. I'll leave a link down below if you want one. And test out if the switches are working properly, or if they're properly soldered in. I had to solder mine quite a few times, and you know what else I did a few times? I burned myself with the soldering iron, and that thing is like 200 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So when all your switches are working and not bugging like mine were, take your PCB and place it back into the aluminum frame. Place all the 4 screws back, then place the acrylic back on, then the last 4 remaining screws, and voila, you're done. Oh, and don't forget to put on the rubber feet too. Then voila, then you're done. I placed my rubber feet on the sides of the acrylic, not exactly where they're supposed to go, for 2 reasons, and 2 good reasons. 1, being so that I can access the screws whenever I needed to, and 2, it raises up the keyboard just a little bit higher so the underglow can show a little bit better. I say that's a pretty 5-head move right there. Here's a quick type test with the keyboard. Lastly, I just want to give some final remarks and stuff. First of all, I'd like to say that although it feels premium, there were some things that annoyed me with this keyboard. First of all, they didn't quite polish the plate very well where they grinded it down. They also didn't even screw the plate in correctly, they screwed it in backwards. To me, it kind of reflects on their company as they didn't really care too much about their product. They definitely cut corners on this keyboard by trying to hide the flaws, and since you really couldn't see the error with like the plate being underneath. I was also very disappointed with the underglow's brightness. It's definitely not as advertised in their photos. In the photos here, you'll see how bright, and probably because it's photoshopped, how bright it is, but when in reality it's pretty dim, and here's some photos of it. They really just pulled one of those wish scams on me. The next one isn't that big of an issue, but there weren't any info cards in the ghetto packaging with any sort of directions with macros or shortcut commands for the keyboard. Like, I didn't even know how to change any of the underglow modes or anything. In order to somewhat find a guide, they place a Google Drive link on their listing, but you can't even find it anymore, which is suspect. In the Google Drive, it had a bunch of files that correlate to all the keyboard models they had, and so it was somewhat hard to navigate around to find the right one. Then it also sent you to 2 more links to click to download the drivers, and then 2 more links they would send you to go to these random websites to code your keyboard finally. Honestly, that was like hell, and I still don't know how to properly code my keyboard. If anyone knows, please help me. As you can tell, this keyboard does not support QWK or VIA, and I found that out after like 2 days of testing, because you would assume people use QWK like every other keyboard. This is just a rant at this point, honestly. Enough of that. I just want to say thanks for watching. It took me way too long to get this video out because I had some college apps, and then there's also my addiction to Valorant. Let me know what you want to see or review or whatever down below. And thank you. See ya.